Okay, the food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the eco. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, found out the hacks, put it underneath rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, we in your city, pull up what we had. Facts.
And that's facts though, I talk factos. That's J Babe, I go Astro. Floating focused on my cash flow. We plant star seeds to make the grass grow. I'm a real floater, I do what I wanna. Stacking no winners, bathing the summer. My chakras align and I shock them like only Paul. We acknowledge your nigga is Paulo.
At these events, my thoughts to my people. Got the streets, yeah, we dodging the Rico. Game of roulette, I'm a casino. The game wasn't fair, yeah, the odds wasn't equal. Squad got the Chico, my squad got the Chico. Came in dry, yeah, they starving the people. Blaming and doubt, make it harder to eat, yo. Not a placebo, that's not a placebo.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the eco. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up the C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up what we had. Facts, facts.
Started in Richmond, art of my district. Heart of the mystics, started for biscuits. Father the isfits, martyr the misfits. God is my witness, God on my hit list. Moving the weight, we started with fitness. Moving with states, we art of the richest. Give me the blues, my heart is in Memphis. It's part of adventure, started my venture. The F is for food, the A is for art. The C is for clothes, I'm playing my part. T is for check, I'm playing it smart. S is for shelter, I stay in the park. Acres on acres, get lost in the dark. We playing a part, we playing it smart. Facts, facts,
okay. The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the eco. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. We in your city, pull up what we had. Facts, facts.
It's a movie, it's a movie.
Session that will explore the incredible potential of the human mind and how the upcoming lecture how he sounded on the audio. How we sounding on the audio. Somebody said, this seems like a replay. Nah, we live and direct in the building. In the motherfucking building. We are here. We are here. We are here. I just want to first and foremost say peace, love, and light to everybody in the building. Good evening. Greetings. Hotep, Islam, Shalom, all that good stuff. Yeah. Let's get right to it because this is not Melanin Monday, nor is it Third Eye Thursdays. We would not be doing roll call. I do care where you come from and where you at right now, but that's not what we doing. I'm just gonna get into the information. This is a free masterclass. I'm doing this out of courtesy. I'm doing this from the love of my heart. I'm doing this for the people because I continue to get a lot of emails where people are tapping in and they're like, yo, Brother Red, I saw the video that you did with Brother Rich and on Black Magic 363 about Chat GPT all the way back in early or late December before the beginning of the new fiscal year, right? So now we are in the new fiscal year of 2023, right? Even though I got a lot of people that were inboxing me, I just got, niggas give you pats on the back, but that's neither here nor there, right? One thing I know about this community is when you help change people's lives and to transform it, there's not a lot of value in that. People don't value that. They want to be told about, aliens and, what's past the Antarctica wall and stuff like that. They want to know what's at the bottom of the ocean. And I don't really have an issue with that, but I've said it on record before. For all of the colorful people who have great imaginations, you've been doing yourself a disservice because you could take that imagination of yours /imagine and you could become a mid-journey artist. You could have took that imagination of yours, that lofty pseudo imagination of yours, and you could become a comic book artist. You could body Comic-Con, you could shut it down. You could start making video games because you have an intelligence about what happened in Lemuria. You have an intelligence of what happened with the Sumerians. You have an intelligence about Enki and Enlil. You have an intelligence of Anunnaki running around with gold teeth and whatnot. Where is the visual component of your thoughts and your ideas? How are you manifesting your God? Right? They said they did we doing the blueprint for God power, correct? That's what everybody, we're on that time right now, right? So God power is about manifestation, correct? Right? God power is about taking your mind, your God-given mind, all right? Because everybody is given a mind, but we know that everyone is not given the same mind. When they say that we're all created equal, they're not telling the truth. They lied to you. Some people are born who are wiser than other people. Some people are born that are more intelligent than other people. Some people are born who are more quote unquote book smart, but some people are born who are more street smart. Some people have more of intuition, which is something that you get from your stomach, they say, but I say it's from your spleen. At least that's what Mugen told me. Some people are sharp, right? They're quick on top of, they have the gift of gab. They could talk people out of their clothes and whatnot. However, with all of that being said, there's a new technology that has encroached upon us. I can't say that it came out of nowhere because I would be lying to you. We've been tracking this technology. We've been updating our community about this technology, and we've been keeping our people abreast to what is going on with this technology, going all the way back to 2010 when we started our blog talk show, Know the Ledge Radio. Me and Brother Rich did a monumental lecture in 2018, and it was entitled Into Deep. And the deep that we were talking about, or rather the deep that I was talking about in the presentation, was the deep mind, right? Google has what is called a computer system, a supercomputer system called Deep Minds, right? Deep Mind. And the deep mind is a neural network. It is a machine learning component of what Google has, and it was responsible for training a computer, not an AI generated computer, but an AI computer to beat one of the world's top AlphaGo players. Now, if you're not familiar with AlphaGo is, I highly suggest that you, one, get your passport and go around the world. Two, pull up on an Asian or, preferably a Chinese person and, talk to them about the importance of AlphaGo. How important is AlphaGo? AlphaGo is as important to the Asians as chess is to Billy Fisher, right? It is a game of strategy, is one of their top games. It's an ancient game. And they were that the computer with a Google powered computer or AI system was able to defeat one of the world's top players, not only in AlphaGo, but they went into the chess world. Everywhere where we talking about games of strategy, they were able to do what? Learn their way to a victory. Now, the way that the AI works, or the way that artificial intelligence works, this newest iteration, because this is a newer iteration utilizing a newer formula, this deep learning, or this deep, the neural networks mimic the human mind, but nothing can come close to the human mind. They can mimic the human mind, but they cannot necessarily duplicate, right? Like they could mimic the China is known for counterfeits. China is known for mimicking America, right? With their capitalism, with the way that they adapted capitalism. They started out as a copy country, right? A carbon copy of America. They were mimicking. They were poor knockoffs of what America industry was. 10 to 20 years later, they're ahead of them, or they're on America's heels. They might be a little bit past their heels, to the point where it's projected that they will be ahead of America very, very soon. Okay. In terms of the quantum race. Now, we are currently, well, let me backtrack a little bit. Into Deep lecture. The deep was about the deep state. The deep was about the deep mind. And the deep was also about the deep web that they call the dark web, right? Fast forward to where we're at today, we are beginning to see, right, collectively as a people, 2023 is the year of AI, right? 2022 ended with a bang. It ended with a bang. It ended with a heads up, like, yo, this shit is about to be real. This is about to be real. What I want y'all to do in the chat room while we break down this information, right, is I want y'all to not be so pessimistic, right? First and foremost, because we are the creators of our reality, right? We are the manifestors of our destiny. What we think and what we say out of our mouths, because words are power, they tend to manifest. What I won't do, me personally, is I won't damn myself. I'm not gonna make it easy for anybody that I consider to be an adversary to defeat me. So what I won't do is I won't tap out before I even begin. I won't curse myself with my thoughts nor my words. I thought you was on the blueprint for God power, right? If you would listen and if you were learning properly, you would not give this shit no type of energy in terms of it being more powerful than you. That's what tonight is about. That's what this whole lecture series is about. Keep in mind, there's an event coming up on Saturday. It's the first event in a series of events that I will be doing, me personally, on this platform, KTL Media. And when we're teaching, is KTL University, right? Notalez University. And, my love language is teaching. I'm really not excited. I'm not excited about a lot of things in life these days. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real with you. Humanity has let me down. You know what I'm talking about? The babies, one thing, but the rest of these motherfuckers, I'm kind of cool. Like I've experienced everything that there is to experience to a degree. You know what I'm saying? I know what motherfuckers is capable of, and I know the limits, and it's cool. But I get excited teaching. I get excited to help too, because I know teaching is empowering. I know that you could power somebody up with the right way of teaching them. Okay. And I haven't been this excited in a very long time about a topic, about a subject, about the future, about what the hell is going on all around me. This research that I've been doing keeps me up at night. It keeps me up. I can't even sleep sometimes because my brain is moving at such a high speed. I'm not laying in bed in fear. I'm not looking outside of my window when I hear an electric car drive by. I'm not shaking when I hear the phone vibrate, my niggas. That's some weird shit, bro. Y'all need to, you know what I mean? Shake that off. Shake that off. Because it's not going to fare you well in the very near future. If shit really get cuckoo and crazy out here, what you finna do? What you finna do? So no, the series that I'm going to be pushing, promoting, and pontificating on is almighty intelligence. The same way that I told us stop saying white supremacy, because I don't know what that means, right? I don't know what that means. I know white fragility though, because I can see it and touch it. I don't see supremacy. Y'all are using the wrong terms, and it's indicative of how you see yourself and others. Because I'm a cocky ass Negro. I could never say the word white supremacy and mean it. You know what I'm talking about? Can't do that. My arrogance won't allow that shit. Supreme over what? Supreme the clothing line? We not going for that. So the same way that I'm not letting them have it, I'm damn sure not letting Alexa have it. I'm damn sure not letting, you know, I ain't letting it. I'm not letting no devices have the power, bro. I'm not letting my smartphone get the best of me. I'm not letting Alexa. I'm not letting Linza. I'm not letting a fucking algorithm. You know, I'm not. I will not say no stupid shit out of my mouth like that. You know what I mean? Guns kill people. Robots with guns kill people, and niggas with guns kill people. Police with guns kill people. People get killed by guns. Now, if a robot starts killing niggas, you know what I'm saying? It won't be a surprise. They've done it already. I said it on occasions. The first Predator drone on American soil that killed an American citizens. Remember, I said Predator drone, right? Because we could bring up Black Wall Street. We could bring up Move in Philadelphia. But the first Predator drone was Mika Johnson on July the 7th, 2017 in Dallas, Texas, right? Blew his ass to smithereens. They called it not a Predator drone, a land drone, right? And then they just approved in San Francisco, they just approved through legislation the right for lethal force by robots. Okay, so you know that is something, and that's where San Fernando Valley is. That's where Silicon Valley is. That's where some of the most wealthiest entities and companies, $1 trillion companies, exist in those areas. So they've created and they've passed a law that's going to allow androids or robots to protect them, right? And you'll never be able to pull up on them at this point if that's the case. You had your chance, but now they'll be protected on 360, maybe 720 degrees and whatnot, from land drones to Predator drones to facial recognition to all kind of shit. You are now in the future, Marty McFly. You are now in the future. You asked for it. So this is a future where we can identify it being in the future because the Jetsons, right, were in 2022, correct? That's the year the Jetsons were broadcasting from, right? We don't have flying cars and shit like that. We're not living in the clouds, but we can say that we are definitely in the throes of what the future is going to bring. I could forecast 5 years from now and I'll be like, yeah, we definitely going to be flying around. Shit is going to be different. We're going to see people who are going to be hardwired with technology. You know what I'm saying? We're going to see bionic people. We're going to see, the incorporation. We're going to see transhumanism. We see transsexuals right now, but we will see transhumanism in the next 5. That is a super fact. Do not be surprised. You feel me? And it may be the Jeffree Stars of the world. It may be whoever the names of the what's the name? Caitlyn, Bruce Jenner, right? It may be that group who pops out and they're half android, or they've agreed to go ahead and get under the knife and become Elon Musk's, muses and whatnot. That's undeniable. There's nothing that you could do about it. You'll point at them like you was pointing at men wearing wigs and heels, and some people will even applaud it the same way that they were applauding cross dressers and people who were on that. Okay. Marty McFly came to 123.23. Is that the year that he came? Is that could we do a cross check on that? That's interesting. Yeah, Marty McFly pulled up 123.23. Jordan numbers, my geniuses. So is there reason to worry? There's reason to be alert, right? I'm not a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm not a worrier. I'm a warrior. For my people who are out there, they are sometimes susceptible to get put into fear-mongering situations because of their sources of information. What does that mean? That means if they're only, tapped into CBS News, mainstream media, Fox, CNN, they're going to get the same thing that they were getting for the pandemic, fear. The same thing that they were getting when melanated men were being killed by police. Not solutions, y'all. Not tough talk. Fear, right? A well-crafted approach to issues from a very subservient, weak position. That is what they've been training our people for a very long time to have. That is our vantage point. And when you look around and you look at the condition of our people, both mentally, spiritually, emotionally, you can see it on their faces, right? You can see it on their bodies and whatnot, that they've accepted a fate that is not one of their own. They've been programmed to be weaklings. They've been programmed to be fear mongers. They've been programmed to have cortisol take over their bodies and shit like that. And it's almost debilitating to them, right? They're riding around invalid. They're riding around subservient. They're riding around at the helms and the whelms of the motherfucking government. That's not who we speak for, nor is that who we represent. No offense, no judgment, only smudgment. But nobody is judging anybody of that condition. However, almighty intelligence has to motherfucking matter for something. It gotta matter for something. Don't just say it. Don't claim God or goddess. Don't claim noble or lord. Don't claim these lofty titles if you can't navigate through this motherfucking world and master this shit. Because this world is to be mastered, and every single thing upon this world. It's not one thing on the surface of this planet that you are not to master with your almighty intelligence. You got to find a way. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to go through some information that I've been compiling. This, my friends, is not the lecture, right? This is not the lecture. This is a preliminary. This is a free masterclass. This is some information to get anybody out there that's listening on point about some of the talking points, the pros and the cons, because I'm not one-sided. You're not going to see me get up here. The reason why I decided to do this free class, the reason why I decided to stop my studies. You don't understand how deep I'm in my studies and whatnot. I wake up very early and I go to sleep very late, doing nothing but studying. My son be trying to get me, well, whenever he comes to get me to dance to some music and whatnot and play around, I have to oblige. But other than that, I don't leave from where I'm at. I've been studying all month, right? I earned a little certificate. I've been taking classes online. I'm just enhancing my mind, my almighty intelligence. And this has been a beautiful month for me. I'm not distracted. I don't have to be online. I don't care what nobody else is doing. I don't give a fuck what's going on in the nigga kingdom. None of that shit means anything to me right now. I am so focused on the future. I am so focused on it now. With my mind into the future, it's retarded. It makes no sense. I'm literally in 2030, my niggas. I promise you, I might start dressing like it. You dig? So today, what we're going to be talking about, you know, I'm going to talk to you about something that I believe is truly transformative, right? And we know the topic of artificial intelligence, and that's what we'll be talking about, right? And how it can not only make us smarter, but also make us wiser and more wealthier. Okay. You see, many of us have heard about the potential of what AI and machine learning can do, but we may not fully understand how it could benefit us as individuals. And this is where I want to share with you today. You know what I'm saying? So, first, we're going to talk about the intelligence. And the truth is, AI is not just about the machines becoming smarter, but it's also about us becoming smarter. With the help of the AI, we could process and analyze more information than we was doing before. And this means that we can make more informed decisions. We could solve more complex problems more quickly, and we could improve our memory and cognitive abilities. Aren't we the same people that got 99 problems? Aren't we the same people that got all of these issues every day? It's a motherfucking issue popping up. Well, who's gonna solve these problems for us? Who's actively gonna, I mean, it sound good when people's, I'm gonna solve your problem. Who's really gonna come ahead and do a formula and break some shit down and get this thing popping? I want to know. It's not just about becoming smarter only. You know what I mean? It's about becoming wiser, right? Because it's about the wisdom. Applied knowledge is wisdom. And with AI, we have access to more information and more knowledge than ever before. This means that we can make better decisions and learn from the experience of others. And this can also help us not only in our professional lives, but also in our personal lives, right? I was on, they got prompts where people are learning how to talk to women through Chat GPT. Chat GPT, they'll go to Chat GPT and say, Chat GPT, you know, you're a woman, you're an expert, you're Kevin Samuels, right? You're a, you know, or whatever name of a relationship guru you want to put out there. And they'll ask Chat GPT for some pointers, and that shit will kick it out. It will give it back to them. People are learning how to approach, you know, because some men are timid. You know what I mean? Some people ain't, everybody's not a social butterfly. Everybody's not just, you know, lit like that. They ain't waking up like that. So they need a little bit of assistance, and they're receiving that. Hold on 1 minute, y'all. Yeah, that's right. Somebody said it's a tool. You damn right, it's a tool, as is everything out here. They are all tools, even what they call a weapon or a gun, right? When I go into the barbershop, or when I go in, I'm in Atlanta, so it's open carry out here. People walking around with hammers, like they walk like a carpenter will walk around with a tool belt with a hammer on it. That's a tool, right? That's a very extreme tool, but they not walking around shooting people. They're walking around with a tool on their hip in case they got to fix something. You dig what I'm saying? In case somebody tries to take something from them, rob them, take advantage of them, right? They have a tool to remind them, look, you know, if my life is threatened, I'm going to get home to the children safe. So lastly, of course, let's talk about wealth. You know, I know in this community, that's like almost a taboo topic for some people, not for all. For some people, they, you know, they get triggered when they hear the word wealth, right? So AI is not just about making these machines more efficient. It's also about making us more efficient. And with the help of this AI, we could automate repetitive tasks, and we could focus on the tasks that truly matter. This can not only save us time and energy, but also increase our productivity and our earnings. Okay. So think about it. right? Think about what productivity is. Productivity is that it may take you 3 years to make a car if you're making it by hand, right? It may take you 3 years to make a car if you're making it by hand. When somebody builds a factory next to you and they bring in machines, they could automate that process and they could build 10 cars in one day. Guess who's going to be out of business very soon? Let's think about it. Okay. That's called productivity. So we are in what is known as the industrial age 4.0, right? 4.0. Productivity has now stepped up, right? Because of industrial, we are in a new industrial age. So the new industrial age is it's automated. The new industrial age is AI, it's intelligence. Okay. The new industrial age is smart everything, Internet of all things. The new industrial age is 4-hour work week. The new industrial age is digital nomad. The new industrial age is passive incomes, 100 income streams, baby. That's the new. People talking about they losing jobs. Got to create a new one. Like I said, when it came out with the cotton mill, there was sharecroppers that was hating on it. There was fucking mules and shit, beasts of burden. That was like, you not using me no more. There was horses that got mad when cars came along, my nigga. You had horses on street. They was protesting. So there comes a day and time where there are new eras or new epochs, right? And this is one of them. We're in a new day and time, y'all. And the world is going to dramatically shift. It's going to change quickly. So let's talk about how we're going to keep up with it. Okay, let's talk about how we're going to keep up with it. It's going to have to take a perfect balance. You cannot dive into this thing just on AI alone. Oh, I just want to be on the internet. I just want to be on my phone and live in my phone. No, my nigga, that's not almighty intelligence. That's not almighty intelligence. You being in front of the computer your whole life, that's not almighty intelligence. I'm risking health being in front of these screens, man. Blue lights. I got the blue blockers and whatnot, but I'm risking my health being in front of this fucking radiation, doing this research. You feel me? And it's bright. I got a big ass screen in front of me. You feel me? This is not healthy. This is not healthy. So I make sure when I'm on the computer, I'm not gagging around. I'm not lollygagging. I'm not jerking off. I'm not wasting my time. Okay? I'm active. I'm making that shit matter, bro. Because if I got to get on a computer, that means I'm taking away time from my loved ones and whatnot. There has to be something that's going to give. So we have to approach this AI. This shit is a deluge. The same way that social media is a deluge. What is a deluge? It's a flood. You could drown in it. This shit is deep. It gets very deep. You could drown in this. You have to be focused. You got to be on your God fucking, you have to be on your God, your blueprint for God power. You have to be on that, or you could get washed. That's a fact. That's not how I feel. That is a factory. You could get washed. So you got to be able to move in the right manner and whatnot, because your ass, time will just, it'll pass you by. And then you still trying to get it together while everybody else done got it together, figured it out, and they on to the next one. Stunting on you on social media got you ready to just lay in the fucking pool and go to the bottom. You know what I'm talking about? You know how Mark Zuckerberg done set you niggas up with the motherfucking algorithm? You feel me? He be having you ashamed to be alive sometimes, fucking around with your social medias, because you out there judging yourself against somebody else, which is now Cypher. But I'm not here to be preachy and whatnot. I'm just here to teach a few lessons. You dig? So I want to go into a presentation real quick. It'll be like you know, a slideshow. We're gonna go over some things and whatnot because, you know, I'm not sure if everybody understands what's going on in the world, you know, because everybody's not on TV. So I'm not sure if everybody knows what's happening and what this technology is about and what people are saying and all of this other stuff. So yes, we are going to go over some things real quick. Let me let me pull this file up and then I will get right to it. All right. Y'all all right? Like I said, I'm not gonna have us in here to the wee hours because I know people got jobs and whatnot. Y'all got responsibilities. So yes, I will be mindful of that. Get y'all back to your destination before it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Give me 1 minute. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all your BM refuses to make your kids cold. Yeah, yeah. I've yeah, man. Ain't that something? I heard of things like that. That's kind of interesting. You feel me? You know, sometimes we you know, people be having convictions and whatnot against shit like that. But yeah, so check us out. Like I said, this is 8 p.m. on Saturn Day, right? 8 p.m. on Saturn Day. We're going to be doing this lecture. This is a lecture. This is not a workshop. This is not a boot camp. That is coming in February. And I'm treating February as Black Future Month, not Black History Month. And no offense to our brothers and sisters in the history and whatnot. We're going to rock with them. We're going to highlight them, but it's Black Future Month. So why my mentality is we not going into Black Future Month with this primitive mentality. We're not going into Black Future Month with a prehistoric mind. We're not going into Black Future Month not knowing about what's going on all around us futuristically right now. So that's why I was like, I gotta do this shit before the month ends. I didn't even know what January went. Let me just keep it a buck with you. I had no idea. I looked up, January was over. I'm like, damn, I thought it was gonna wait for me, but it's not waiting for me. So Black Future Month, right? Black Future Month, we diving in. So 8 years ago, I put this flyer up because 8 years ago, me and Blue Pill were in Boston, right? People would be like, oh, Red Pill, you know, what do you know about computers and shit like that? He just conscious. He just, you know what I mean? He know about the Moorish stuff, and all of this stupid stuff. Not knowing because they just caught on. They just woke up last year. They just caught on, you know, recently. No offense, right? Nobody's judging you. What I'm saying is, y'all don't know where we came from.
Experiences.
Right? And you probably don't know how long we've been doing this. But we're here to let you know that we've been doing this for a very long time. That lecture was entitled, The Evolution Will Be Digitized. I did that 8 years ago. Nobody was talking like this in our community. Matter of fact, I couldn't even get a lot of support from the community when I decided to have this lesson because I wasn't dealing with the debate shit or I wasn't stuck in the past enough. So they was like, nah, that shit is not sellable. It's not viable. So they helped to stagnate the people. They helped to stagnate this community and keep these niggas stuck in poo butt situations and whatnot. Keep them stuck in the past, keep them hotepping and all of the other things that we see going on with our people right now where these niggas is stagnated. Let's keep it a buck. Motherfuckers ain't move an inch in mad long, right? So that was the pushback that I was getting. You know what I'm talking about? They wasn't feeling me. But now these niggas is calling me up on their iPhone asking me, yo, can you Chat GPT masterclass. So I had to take my masterclass. I'm just throwing up the certificate, nigga. I'm waving certificates in niggas' faces. I'm not one of those highly degreed up PhD type of brothers, but I got more certificates than a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? I got more certificates than a little bit. I know the power of the online schools. They got bars in there. So this is the KTL University. Make sure y'all go over there and get your tickets and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? Prices will go up before the end of this week. So make sure you go ahead and take advantage of that, right? So Chat GPT, right, is the talk of the motherfucking town. You know what I'm talking about? It's the talk of the town. It's like when you heard about Bitcoin. It's like when you heard about NFTs. It's on everybody's tongues. It's on everybody's minds. I think they went ahead and paid the mainstream media to start talking about it because my mama watching it on the news. Niggas' grandmas is like, what's that crap? What's cat GPP? What's crap? What's chat PPP? Niggas, they, you know how in the hood.
Bang, 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 bang.
You know when a hood get put on to something, but they not really on it, they fuck the name up. That just goes to show you they weren't paying attention. What's chat PPP? What? Come here, Ellsworth. What's chat PPP, young man? Be like, what you talking about? What that? What's kid journey? All right, mama, sit down. Come on now. What's chat giblet? Talk back to me. Jesus, I heard Chat GPT was talking to Jesus. What kind of blasphemy are they doing outside? Is this have something to do with the shots or something? These people done lost their minds. Yeah, all right, relax, Granny. You know what I'm saying? This for the babies. You know what I'm talking about? No disrespect to the elders, but goddamn it, I'ma stand on this. Bow-legged. Like bow-legged Lou, I'm gonna stand on this. This stuff that we seeing right now, this is a direct results of these star seeds being on this planet. They brought all of this technology with them. Let's keep it a buck. Since they started pulling up, shit been upgraded. Okay, they brought this with them. They're gonna utilize higher forms of this in the future to either get us where we gotta go, or to protect themselves, or to get the fuck off this planet. Something is going to give, but is going to be intricately related to the star seeds. I said the star seeds. No disrespect to anybody's children, but I said the star seeds, the ones who sit with you and talk about outer worldly things, the ones that sit with you and talk to you about spiritual implications that they couldn't necessarily hear by eavesdropping. This was coming from eternally, right? So Chat GPT is the talk of the town, right? And if the babies are listening, hi babies, how you doing? This is Uncle Red. All I want to tell you to do is to be comfortable exploring this new technology, right? Because this is your technology. This technology is nothing to be scared of. You could speak your imagination. The first prompt in Midjourney, which is an art generator, is /imagine, right? You can't come up with any type of design off of Midjourney without putting in imagine. Think about that. This is about your imagination. This is about how far does your mind go? This is about, are you really on that God time that you was talking about all of these years, right? Mentally masturbating off of this information. Now it's time to show and prove it in, because the tools are here to build pyramids. How about that? The tools are here. You could build a new world with the tools if you know what you're doing with them. If we don't know what we're doing with them, we are only going to be in the same position that we've been in. Y'all going to make Claude Anderson mad again.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Y'all gotta have Claude Anderson talking greasy about us, talking about we poorer than black people in the 1800s. And I'm not trying to hear that no more. I ain't trying to go through that. I'll be walking around with my head down in shame because I be hearing when Claude get on us. Yeah, Black Future Month. That's the movement. Okay. BFM, not BMF. BFM, y'all. You know what I mean? We're gonna take Meech moms out of Wendy's, man. BFM. You know what I'm talking about? Damn, stop that. Computer, my computer got AI tendencies. This shit got a mind of its own. I can imagine what the future gonna look like. You're gonna be telling the computer, man, stop. It's gonna be like, make me. Chat Debo, make me. You know what I'm talking about? Anyway. So Chat GPT has now passed a Wharton MBA exam, the bar, and a U.S. medical license examination, right? I'm here to let you know, once again, almighty intelligence. If you know how to use the machine, it's gonna work for you. If you don't know how to use the machine, you gonna work for it.
You don't find that suspicious?
You feel me?
You don't find that suspicious?
You gonna work for it if you don't know how to prompt it, if you don't know how to mount this machine, if you don't know what the hell you got in your hands. It's free right now, available for everybody. You could be homeless with Chat GPT. And before we get out of here tonight, I'm gonna give you some bars on how you could get up out of homelessness with this new technology. Thank me later. All I'm asking for is to pull up and let's do the case study. All I'm asking for is to pull up and give me my testimonial when I'm finished with you. That's it. I don't need nothing from you. Keep all of your bread. Just give me a testimonial. That's that's internet gold, my genius. I could pull you out of poverty right now. And you won't have to sell your soul. You won't have to grab your ankles. Jaguar Wright won't have to be talking about you niggas in the future. You know what I'm talking about? You don't have to get exposed by Jaguar. You don't got to do nothing strange for a piece of change. You just have to think with your godhood. So now we have many, many use cases for ChatGPT. Let's keep in mind there's over 100 use cases, maybe 1,000. Okay. And in the upcoming workshop, not this lecture, right? Because the lecture is to get the bullshit out the way. That's why I'm doing this lecture. I'm doing a lecture so I could balance the scales. I'm going to be fair and impartial. I'm not going to be biased. I'm going to speak about the pros and the cons. I'm going to talk about all the crazy shit going on with AI. I'm going to talk about all the social credit system, the China, the AI, Lambda, all that shit. The scientists that got killed by robots and whatnot in Japan. I'm going to cover all that. I'm gonna get greasy with it. But then I'm going to also give you your benefits. I'm going to give you your reparations. I'm going to ask you, well, shit, what you want to walk away with? You feel me? This is a balancing act. So, and then we'll have the boot camp right after that, where we're going to be teaching you how to build your own Chat GPT. We're going to be teaching you how to build your own Mid-Journey. We're going to be teaching you how to build your own apps and whatnot, how to take different APIs and get this shit popping. You could be an app developer. You could be an app owner. You could be a part of this futuristic wave so the shit don't miss you like everything else missed us. Because as we see in the past 5 to 6 years with this new economy, this is a new economy, but this new economy is all about timing. You snooze, you lose. That's what happened with fucking crypto. That's what happened with NFTs. That shit going bad. All that shit went bad like bad milk. But in the beginning, before it spoiled, it was fucking gold. Nothing good lasts forever. Not on the nigga net. Not on the internet, not with all of these goddamn, bottom feeders and whatnot. Shit goes bad. There are bad actors in these spaces. But in the beginning, when everything matters, real estate, it's about the beginning. You want to get on the You want to get on the motherfucking pre-construction shit before the building is even built. You want to be making your money, right? On real estate, it's about timing. In sports, it's about timing. In investment, you niggas is out here getting smacked up every day with your trading on Robinhood, you know what I'm saying, and Thinkorswim, right? Playing around with Forex and day trading and options. Nigga, that's timing. When GameStop was going crazy and regular people was getting rich, people who got on early got money, they got paid. All of the latecomers to the party, you got the gas face. Timing. So I'm here to let you know this is about timing. We already kind of late right now. It's January is almost over. This shit is moving quantumly. But fear not, fret not. I'm here with this motherfucking information. And believe me when I tell you, I got enough of it to go around. I'm drowning in information. You feel me? I just bought a new Mac. The goddamn hard drive is almost filled up. I'm drowning in this shit. And I gotta get it out. I gotta get it out. So we're gonna do it step by step. So yeah, I'm gonna get you going into Black Future Month, thinking like an Afrofuturist, thinking about your future, something that the Hollywood didn't allow us to do, something that society doesn't even encourage. Black people don't exist in 30 years from now, not in their movies. It's one or two niggas in the bar at Star Wars. And they look like they mixed with animals. You don't exist in their future. You got to make your own. You got to listen to some George Clinton. You know what I'm talking about? Get you some plant medicine and put yourself in the motherfucking future through your mind. But also, you know, and it all, I'll get on that. Yeah, in your mind, because that's what's really at play right now. It's not even your hands. We've changed the direction of how things are being done. Before, you had to, if your hands wasn't right, you wasn't gonna eat, my nigga. That's how this shit was set up. You especially from with the men, you ate from what you create with your hand. Now, where everything is prompt based, where they switched the motherfucking protocol and mostly everything is prompt based. What is prompts? Prompts are commands that you give the technology or you give the app. That comes from your mind. You don't even have to type the prompt, my nigga. You could, the way that I'm working with my chat GPT, I press the space bar and I talk to that shit through the microphone. You feel me? You don't even need no hands, just elbows, nigga. Just need elbows. So this new thing is about generating, right? This is about art Lensa, Midjourney, Stable Diffusion. All of these are art generators. They got video generators, text to video, image to video. All of these, chat GPT, it generates ideas and thoughts. You're talking to it, you're chatting with it. It's not a search engine. It's not Google, right? Google is for searches. Google does not chat to you until they incorporate AI into their system. It's not a chat bot. This is a different system. This shit is built on a whole different type of framework and whatnot. As a language model. So this is trained the same way like you have autocorrector when, you know, niggas that can't spell and they be trying to type shit out ebonically and it keep like correcting it, autocorrect, right? Where it has predictive technology. They train the AI to where it predicts what you're trying to write, right? So this is more of a predictive type of technology that we're dealing with, okay? This chat GPT debuted in November of 2022, right around the time that we were going to do the Facts Initiative in Charlotte. The T in Facts is for technology, right? The T in Fact is for technology. We've been teaching about AI for the last 6 to 7 years. I was going hard on it, for the last 3 lectures that I was doing. I was really touching on the importance of it, but that was before this shit really crescendoed and did what it did. I guess we spoke it into existence, if that's what you want to believe. If you believe in shit like that, I guess we spoke things into existence. There's power in the tongue. Okay. So the law firms is looking at the AI. They like, yo, this shit, we're not gonna take they're gonna tell the public the fear approach, because that's how you do. You sell the rumor, you buy the news and whatnot. They're not gonna give you the power. That's not what the news gets paid for. They get paid to sell advertisement, and they get paid to put you in fear. The motherfucking the daily news or the nightly news is not finna be out here empowering nobody. They would rather scare you. So the GPT, and GPT stands for generative pre-trained transformer, right? Generative pre-trained transformer, right? Sounds real futuristic, doesn't it? Okay. And it's an AI-driven chatbot launched by OpenAI in November 2022. The chatbot essentially works as a written dialogue between the user, the person asking the questions, and the AI system. So far, marketers, business owners, and regular internet users alike have been enthralled with ChatGPT's interactive technology. Users can ask questions and submit prompts, and ChatGPT will respond with answers, information, formulas, content, ideas, and more. With that, many business owners have identified valuable use cases for ChatGPT. This tool can write blog post outlines, generate content topics, write your emails, and help businesses with their everyday operations. Okay. So these are some of the uses that the law firms have discovered that ChatGPT could utilize. And, that's why they're firing so many people, because they don't need them anymore. Okay. So it could generate a list of blog ideas for a family law attorney, right? So if you're a law attorney, you want to start getting some traction on Google and whatnot, you want to put some blogs together, well, you could go to ChatGPT. If you on YouTube, you know how they had the sister who was doing YouTube videos, and she was reporting when conscious people was getting locked up, but then you don't hear from her anymore. She's an Esquire, right? She only pops up when there's like the controversial cases, right? So she, in the meantime, between time, if she has time on her hands and she wants to build up her channel and she wants to build up her quote unquote awareness, and if she wants to build up her followers, she could go ahead and start putting out blogs in between the times of the controversies. You feel me? So in the meantime, between time, she could be breaking down the blogs and whatnot, and then just giving out value like that. And then, she gets paid for AdSense. She gets discovered. If she has an affiliate link on her blog, she gets money like that. If she has a course that she's selling, she gets money like that. If she's selling her services as a professional, she gets money like that. Okay. So many lawyers get stumped by trying to think of blog post ideas, especially for characteristically boring practice areas. But ChatGPT can help you beat writer's blog and come up with topics that are relevant to your audience interests, right? So they have another one. What are 5 recommended service pages a corporate attorney should have on their website? So these are the service pages if you're building out a website about us, practice areas, tell them the areas that you practice law in. What are your services? What do you what do you provide? What's your specific services or your law firm offer? Either you or your law firm, right? Contract review, business formation, trademark registration, FAQs, the frequently asked questions, and the contact us. How do they get in contact with you? That's just the basics that you can have up there. Now, we also have, what are some facts and statistics related to drunk driving in the U.S.? Include the URL to each source, right? So you ask them, when you chat with GPT, you make sure you get the URL, right? They will generate a URL, because keep in mind, the AI is not pulling out answers from their, they're not pulling out answers from the left field. They're pulling out answers from the internet. It read the whole internet. It read the quote unquote World Wide Web, right? They trained it on something called data sets. Okay. You too can train your AI on data sets. You too can program your own version of ChatGPT. That is something that we will be covering in our boot camp. But in the meantime, between time, if you want to, right? If you want to, this is a choice that you have to make. You could go over to Red Pillar. That is my Patreon page. You can sign up at the lowest tier, and you could be you could receive a ton of information that I put on my Patreon. I'm gonna go over there before the class is over. I've been loading up all of the video links. I've been loading up articles. I've been loading up PDFs. All of my research that I've been doing, I've been putting all of my research links and everything that I've been building on my Patreon. So you get access to that. So you could go ahead and study and you could get some information so you don't have to be lost. Because like I said, you could research it on the internet, but if you don't know what you're looking for, what you researching? You know what I'm talking about? You will be caught up in that motherfucking pool that's on the internet where you could potentially drown because there's so much information. And then you just on that motherfucking internet and time is going, time is flying, but you're not making no bread. You're not making no moves. You're not enterprising, because that's what this is about right now. This is about taking advantage of you being an early adopter and whatnot, utilizing your almighty intelligence or joining our network, getting down with the network and whatnot, so we could collectively, because we have brain trust, we have think tanks, and we're doing a lot of these quote unquote live seminars with our people, especially on our Discord and whatnot, so we could keep our brothers and sisters updated to the shit that's going on, so we can motherfucking win. Because it's not about being right, it's about the win, my niggas. It's about that W. Let's always remember that. It's about that W. That's what really matters at the end of the day. That motherfucking win. And this shit right here is helping people win. This is a cheat code if I've ever seen any cheat code. This is one of them. This is one of them ones. You feel me? It's one of them ones. Created by man. I ain't all religious. Man made this. But I'm a fucking man living on this planet. Let's be clear. Niggas talking about AI this, AI that, but you playing around. Your toy is automatic. Let's talk about it. That toy that you be playing with, the rolls and whatnot, that's fucking AI. You got Alexa in your house, that's AI. You niggas got Alexa. Yo, Alexa this, Alexa that. Alexa know more about you than homie on Tinder. You got the Ring bell. You got Alexa. You talk to Google, right? You don't realize that that's AI. You on the internet, on Twitter, butt naked. Nigga, that's AI. The algorithm got you. But people is like, oh, AI, not realizing you are already in the motherfucking throes. And you utilizing all of that technology that I threw out there is not giving you nothing back. You giving all of your data to these devices and whatnot, and you can't even do nothing with that shit. They're collecting all of that sensitive data on you, but you don't even benefit from that. You don't know how to benefit from that. So I'm saying that if you were to interface with some form of AI, why not let it be something like ChatGPT? And just don't go do no goofy shit with the AI. Don't bow down. Ask the fucking questions, get your answers, and then apply the answers in real life situations, right? You know what I'm talking about? Moderation with everything. That's the same thing that happened with the goddamn plant medicine. Yo, if you need to take some plant medicine to help you with your trauma and your shadow work, we suggest starting out with 3 grams and then go to the heroic dose. Do you know what these niggas went outside and did? They went and took 10 grams off the first fucking rip. And now they doing shrooms like weed out here. They doing shrooms like weed, bro. No moderation. No moderation. They take and they take and they take and they take and they go all the way in. They don't have no breaks. And then they be blaming other people. Oh, niggas did this and niggas did that. No, nigga, you a fiend. You got fiend tendencies, nigga. You turn CMOS into fiend activities, bro. You turn shrooms into fiend activities, bro. How did you zombie out? How did you niggas fiend out CMOS in shrooms, fam? Come on now. Yeah. So that's just a little something, something. You know what I mean? So these are more ideas that the lawyer, this is just the law firm. Like I said, almost 1,000 use cases. Write a response to a user who left this review on our law firm's Google listing. So they're writing responses. You could write replies. You feel me? You could even beat parking tickets with it. Right? Dark Horse AI passes the thing, right? So the Pope said this on 11/11/2020. The Pope is praying for AI that it serves humanity, right? So you already know what that is. You know what I'm talking about? But then fast forward, this is what happened the other day on January 12th, 2023. Tech gets religion on AI. So they had a Vatican summit with Islamic and Jewish leaders with Microsoft and IBM. So the same people from Microsoft that just dumped $10 billion into OpenAI, they brought OpenAI to the Vatican, my niggas. You understand? And I thought that the Vatican was beefing with the other religions and whatnot. So the rabbi is there, the imam is there, and the Pope is there with all of the leaders in tech and whatnot. You feel me? So Rome is calling for AI ethics, right? Focusing on 6 principles: transparency, inclusion, accountability, impartiality, reliability, and security and privacy. How could the church ask anybody to be transparent when they was hiding all of them rapists and whatnot? No, what the church don't want the AI to do, and the commitment that they want from these programmers, is to make sure that the AI don't expose the lie. Okay, that's what that's about. That the AI does not disrupt motherfucking religion by giving people the real answers that they're looking for, when somebody with the smart enough, almighty intelligent mind is able to ask it the right question. Because if you ask anybody the right question, your ass is bound to get the right answer. Okay, so Microsoft, this came out yesterday, they just made $10 billion investment in Chat GPT. So what does that mean? That means that it's over. And not in a scary way. That just means that it's everywhere now. You're talking about Microsoft. This Microsoft is everywhere. Microsoft is everything, especially in the digital world. Windows, Excel, Microsoft Word. Niggas don't use Bing, but they're going to start using Bing soon, because they're going to incorporate this into Bing. Okay. So for all of my my stock market dudes, you already know what it is. I think it was Ian Dunlap that been champion Microsoft for the past few months. Nigga, what you waiting for? Are you dumb or are you stupid? You supposed to been had these. So they just put this tweet out the other day, the upcoming lecture. What the hell? They just put this tweet out the other day to basically say, you know, what the use cases are more powerful with Chat GPT 3, right? Because keep in mind, they have part 4 on the way. Okay, part 4 is coming, but we're not even thinking about part 4 right now. We're looking at part 3. This is Chat GPT 3. So they say that it's most suitable for general knowledge and information, which is language, grammar, science, technology, business, finance, history, and culture. And at this moment, they put that in parentheses, is less suitable for highly specific or niche topics, right? Niche topic is consciousness. Niche topics is occultism. Niche topics is, esotericism. And niche topic is all of that, all of that highfalutin shit. Legal advice, sensitive or classified information, right? Sensitive or classified. That's that Vatican talk. Real-time events, because they trained it up into 2021. But of course, this is the internet, ladies and gentlemen, and that shit been hacked. I hacked my Chat GPT. I can ask it about everything that's going on right now. I can ask that shit about what's going on right now, and it will talk to me. Now, what people don't realize about Chat GPT is that it's open source. What does open source mean? It means that it's available for other people to utilize its API and build out their own version of a Chat GPT. So very soon it's going to be hip hop GPT. It's going to be Vatican GPT. It's going to be all kind of GPTs, because people who are forward thinking are going to take the technology that's available to everybody, and they're going to tweak it to create a quote unquote a product or a service, and they're going to monetize it. So a new company came along that utilized the Chat GPT technology, and they built out an app called Historical Figures. And Historical Figures, you could talk to Jesus. It's a classic parlor game. Which 3 people from history would you invite to dinner? Now, a new app brings the experience to your phone with help from an artificial intelligent chatbot, allowing users to have text conversations with robots meant to simulate the perspectives of notable people from history, from Babe Ruth to Adolf Hitler, right? So Ye got in trouble for talking about Hitler, but now you can have a dialogue with Hitler. Now they got people who made a whole app that brings Hitler to life, but nobody got nothing to say about that. Of course, the hit dogs are gonna bark. They're gonna try to make a thing about it, but these are Jews who made it. The app called Historical Figures, right? They could come out with an app called Hidden, Hidden Colors, right? You could be talking to Marcus Garvey. You could be talking to, my dude, George Washington Carver, and he could be in that same voice that he had. The app called Historical Figure has begun to take off in the 2 weeks since it was released as a way to have conversations with any of the 20,000 notable people from history. But this week it sparked viral controversy online over its inclusion of Hitler, his Nazi lieutenants, and other dictators from the past. Are neo-Nazis going to be attracted to the site so they can go and have a dialogue with Adolf Hitler? Asked Rabbi Abraham Cooper, the director of global social action from Simon Weinstall Center, a Jewish rights organization. The app, created by a 25-year-old Amazon software engineer, is part of the latest rush in tech to build on top of AI software such as ChatGPT, an advanced chatbot prototype that burst onto the scene less than 2 months ago. Tech entrepreneurs and investors are using ChatGPT's base technology, called GPT-3, to reimagine peer-to-peer counseling, write letters to investors, and negotiate with cable companies. Historical Figures, which also uses GPT-3, launched the first week of January, and as of Wednesday, it had 9,000 signups. App creator Sidhant Chadha said in a phone interview. So he's an Indian creator. He's Indian, but I'm sure he had people from Tel Aviv and other small hats developing it and coding it and whatnot, right? But the way that these articles, because what we don't realize is how media works. This article is a commercial, right? That whoever he paid for this article is simply a commercial. By next week, they're gonna have 90,000 signups. The same way that when ChatGPT hit like ABC and the World News and whatnot, that was through their publicists, and they had to break some bread off because that was just a commercial. That just had people crash the server. Now you can't even get on that shit. If you want to get on ChatGPT, it's free. I suggest you sign up from your laptop, right? A desktop computer, because if you try to get on your phone, it's very hard unless you pay $40 to get the pay. They just rolled out a paid membership. If you pay the $40, you good. I'm here to let you know I don't get no PC. I'm not, they don't have an affiliate link as of yet. But when they do get the affiliate link, nigga, I'm grabbing that and I'm pushing it. I'm pushing P on that. You feel me? Because I don't make no money from them, but I'll let you know, spend that 30, my nigga. Spend that 30. You know what I'm talking about? You spend 30 on a chicken dinner. You spend 30 on some Zaza, some GMO Zaza. God damn it. You buy 2 cartons of eggs, nigga. That's a 30 ball.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
The debate has highlighted how the technology leap in AI is quickly inspiring clashes over the situations and contexts in which AI applications can have acceptable uses, right? And I'm going to say it like this, and I don't, I'm going to just keep it a buck. The person who creates the underworld shit for this AI, you're going to win. And I'm not encouraging all of that, but I just know I know the behaviors of humans. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas is gonna win. You bet your bottom dollar. Cause even on like Lenza, you can't put it's not safe. You can't do not safe for works and everything. But they tweak that too. They got a whole room on Midjourney for not safe for work images where they, you understand what I'm saying? So Americans, of course, the commercial shit is always clean and good. We thrive on the dark shit. You know what I'm talking about? Henceforth, deep web. So the shit is open source. There's no stopping what can be built. There's no stopping that. You could tweak it to do whatever you want it to do. So the people who are able to lean a little bit into the shadow, they're definitely going to become overnight millionaires. Easy. Like make a chat GPT talking to porn stars. You feel me? And fucking strippers, nigga. You can have a conversation with Diamond, nigga. You know what I mean? Shit like that is going to go crazy. Pardon my French. That's for that, because once the streets get a hold of it, or once the underworld gets a hold of it, they're going to do what thou wilt. And that's how that goes. That's just how life goes. There's nothing that you could do on it. You have to create, if you want to create the light in the world, then you have to stay on that light frequency. And that's what you create. But that's doable. And I'm encouraging everyone to tip the scales. Let's use this technology to create some very light type of work on this planet to help balance a lot of the darkness that has been engulfing our people for far too long. Okay, for far too long. So according to the app's description, you can chat with deceased individuals who have made a significant impact on history, from ancient rulers and philosophers to modern day politicians and artists. So where's the Sumerian? So are we going to get a chat GPT where we could talk to the Anunnaki?
How would you like to become a superhuman, or at least a better version of yourself? As usual, Elon Musk has some ideas on how you can do that. He believes you can achieve this by implanting a chip in your head. This is no joke, as Musk has been testing chip brain implants in animals and is now testing them on humans using Neuralink technologies. What is Neuralink? How will Musk implant the chip in human brains? And what will Musk achieve with Neuralink? Join us as we dive into how Musk is finally testing Neuralink on humans. Many of us have had moments we wished for more brain power, perhaps to tackle a difficult school assignment, multitask to be able to meet deadlines, or learn some concepts in a very limited time. What if our brains can go through a reawakening, or we can simply add more processing power like we can add RAM to a computer? All these are enticing possibilities that imaginative filmmakers have tantalized us with for decades. Sci-fis show active, intelligent humans getting updates by opening up their heads and adding more power. However, thanks to an ingenious businessman and billionaire inventor, we might soon be living those films as a reality. That man is Elon Musk, whose intelligence is in no doubt. Musk started Neuralink to achieve what many people would assume is impossible. The company aims to build implantable chips that will allow the human brain to interact with computers directly. But what exactly is Neuralink? We will look into this before we get into how Musk is putting it into the human brain. Neuralink is a gadget that will be surgically inserted into the brain using robotics by neurosurgeons. In this procedure, a chipset called the Link is implanted in the skull. It has a number of insulated wires connected from the electrodes that are used in the process. This device can then be used to operate smartphones and computers without having to touch it. Give it up to Musk to try what others shy away from. This is the same man that wants to settle people on Mars permanently, while others debate the morality or ethics of such an idea. Technologies like Neuralink have their critics, but seeing the benefits, Musk will not be stopped. Before looking at the benefits of Neuralink, how does it work? Musk put it as, the neurons are like wiring and you need an electronic thing to solve an electronic problem. That is an oversimplified explanation, but we offer you what you need to know here. It is important to have some ideas of how the brain works. The brain consists of neurons that transmit signals to cells in the body, including muscle, nerve, glands, and other neuron cells. Every neuron is made up of three parts called the dendrite, the soma or cell body, and the axon. The dendrite receives the signals, the soma processes these signals, the axon then transmits the signals to the other cells. The neurons are connected to one another by the synapses, which release neurotransmitters. These chemical substances then sent to another neuron cell's dendrite, causing the flow of current across the neurons. The electrodes that are part of the Neuralink will read electrical signals that are produced by several neurons in the brain. The signals are then output in the form of an action or movement, which is how you walk or lift an arm. The Neuralink device is implanted directly in the brain because if it is placed on the skull, it will not detect the signals produced in the brain accurately. Accuracy is very important in applications like this. Musk says it charges wirelessly. So what does Neuralink do?
I didn't even preface this to scare you niggas and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? I didn't even preface this before I showed it to scare y'all. But yeah, here, get scared, niggas. Get scared. Get scared.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Right.
You don't find that suspicious?
So this is your boy Elon, your man's in them, right? You know, a lot of people is like, that's my guy and whatnot. So this is what he is utilizing. Yes, fair use, you know, don't trip, y'all. Don't trip algae rhythm. Fair use, right? Fair use. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he is creating this, he's going to be the one to set it off. This is just the beginning. This is the road to transhumanism, Neuralink, and it's really here. And there's another company that's beyond Neuralink. He's not even the big dog in town. There's another company, because what Elon is doing with Neuralink is some barbaric shit. You know what I'm talking about? When you see it, it's really barbaric. There's another company that's doing it better than him. So he's not even the top dog in that space, but he definitely is out there pushing the people to get brain implants. You feel me? And he's playing both sides of the fence. He's the one that's like, yo, I'm scared of the AI. It's gonna be dangerous. But he's also the one that's putting chips in people's brains. And he's going to link it to the Starlink networks, which are satellites in the sky and whatnot. So you have to be very mindful about their aspirations. Whose aspirations? Of course, you know who, mankind, and their quest to live forever.
The main function, as already stated, is to bridge the gap between the human brain
and their quest to be, quote unquote, to live on other terrestrial environments and whatnot. They're going to enhance the human body through the CRISPR gene, DNA gene editing, and also through exoskeletons, and definitely through the neural
technology.
brain.
This has many applications, including the ones that will benefit a special class of people. For example, people who have suffered paralysis and can't move their body parts can use Neuralink to operate their phones and computer directly with their brains. This will be useful for people who have suffered diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It can also help people who have suffered severe spinal injuries to walk again. People who can't form speech can take advantage of Neuralink, which will...
So all of those veterans that came back mangled and whatnot from the war, they're probably going to be one of the first peoples to sign up to get this new link up and whatnot, and they'll use them in service.
Read signals in their brains and send them to a smartphone that will turn them into human speech. That's not all Neuralink can do, though, as it can draw pictures, take photographs, control heavy machinery with the brain directly, play games without physically touching a controller, and so forth. The possibilities with Neuralink are endless, and more applications are expected to come up with time. Musk started the company in 2016 and is the main source of funds. Neuralink has come a long way since then. It has been tested in at least 19 different animals with a high success rate. Interestingly, the procedure to install the Neuralink device, which Musk calls getting the link, is not complicated as some people would think. It doesn't even require general anesthesia and will be carried out by a robot in about an hour. The only evidence of the surgery is a tiny scar after the electrodes have been inserted in the brain, and there won't be any blood. The link is about the size of a large coin that you can easily conceal under your hair or a cap. Musk has demoed Neuralink using 3 pigs. He called the demo the 3 Little Pigs, showing that his team has successfully implanted Neuralink in their brains. The pigs were named Joyce, Gertrude, and Dorothy. Joyce had no implant and was only brought along for the audience to see how a normal pig behaved. Gertrude had had an implant for 2 months, while Dorothy used to have one but had it removed. Dorothy would prove that an animal could live fine post-Neuralink. Gertrude was the star of the show, and her Neuralink implant with 1,024 electrodes transmitted her brain activity in real time to a screen that the audience could see. They also heard beeps that Musk explained came when Gertrude's pigly brain received stimulation from the environment, which corresponded to her sniffing through her snout. The second major demo of Neuralink involved monkeys, which was more in line with the preferred test animals for scientists. More than 70,000 of them are used for research in the US alone. This demo was even more exciting as it showed the monkey named Pager playing a game with his mind. It is a big deal to get a monkey to play a game, but Musk's team got Pager to play the game with his mind. Musk decoded an algorithm to admittedly more confident when Neuralink could start being spinal cord injuries.
Robotic creations.
When I do my lecture and I'm not on YouTube and I'm mostly on Zoom, I will resume. But I have to say, the copyright protection, I can't just be playing this whole video type shit. You understand what I'm saying to y'all? But you get it, right? This is Sophia.
Chat with each other. So Hanson Robotic, originally we move into space with
they're having a debate.
Other things in human form, and we can read a facial expression, we can read a tone of voice, we can read the subtleties of eye contact. So in order for robots to interact with human researchers on artificial, before it was
moves in the game of Go.
Okay, this is an AI movie right here. This is a documentary that's on YouTube. I think everybody
This is the world's
go ahead,
most complex board game.
check that out.
There are more possible moves in the game of Go than there are atoms in the universe. Legend has it that in 2300 BCE, Emperor Yao devised it to teach his son discipline, concentration, and balance. And over 4,000 years later, this ancient Chinese game would signal the start of a new industrial age.
It's very popular, like China and Japan.
With the rules of Go, intelligence called...
Like I said, I can't play this documentary in its wholeness, but we will play it on Saturday. We'll go through it on Saturday. We'll break it down on Saturday, and we'll give you more information. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody asked me, they wanted to know how the human flesh and these computers work together. Well, as I was showing in the video, as the video was showing you, right, the computer chips are going to attach to the electrical currents of the brain, right? Of the brain. It's not about necessarily flesh. It's called neural link. So they're linking into the neural network of the human brain, not the human mind, but the human brain. That's why he says the body is electric. So you need to cure it with electric probes and the electricity on electricity. So it's the human, the human brain, which is electric, is going to be corresponding to the microchips and picking up on the impulses and whatnot. The YouTube documentary is called The Rise of AI. Okay. It's The Rise of AI by PBS. It's about an hour and change. And it's very informative about what we see going on and whatnot. And I was showing you this because, like I said, there's an argument on both sides about what's going on. I'm not getting a chip in the brain. I'm not becoming transhuman. I'm not going that far with this shit. But this is what awaits people who are going to become infatuated by AI technology, and they're going to drown in the AI technology, right? They're going to drown in it, and they're going to become its subjects. They will willingly become its subjects. What I'm saying is we not subjects like that. We ain't built like that. You feel me? We don't touch our toes for nothing. You know what I'm talking about? We standing up tall, and we're going to utilize whatever we have to utilize that's in front of us, right, to achieve our goals in moderation, right, with perfect balance, right? I suggest that before any of us do any type of interactions with our electronical devices, that we, when we get up or when we rise or when we're about to interface, we get a little bit of sunlight, you know what I'm saying? We do a little bit of grounding, we do a little stretching and whatnot. We nourish our bodies and whatnot, and we put ourselves in a healthy state. So when we're sitting in front of the computer, we can have healthy thoughts, right? And we're not tempted and we're not distracted, okay? And we're not going down these rabbit holes where we're trauma bonding with all of the trauma that they put out there. Remember, Facebook was sued in court because they have algorithms that will make you more sad. They know how to trigger your health, your mental health. They know how to trigger your pain body. They know how to trigger your trauma body. They know how to make you suicidal. They know how to do all of these things. It has been proven. They are what is known as data capitalists. And this is data. What's her name? There's a lady from Israel that wrote an excellent book. I believe her name is Shoshana, right? And she wrote a book about corporate capitalism. I mean, the data, the corporate surveillance, right? How these people are, they took surveillance to a whole nother level. You want to talk about COINTELPRO, these new devices, these social media devices, these social media platforms like Facebook, like Instagram, like TikTok, like Google and whatnot, how they became billionaires, shit, from selling your data, right? From selling your motherfucking data. Little things like when you write your status update, if you say, yeah, I'm going to the club with my mans in them, or if you say I'm going to the club with my friends, just that difference right there is a high metric in determining who you are to advertisers, who you are to these data quote unquote companies or these data analytics and whatnot, who are paying a pretty penny for your information, and they know more about you than you may know about yourself, which leads me ultimately to where we are headed as a people, right? Very, very fast, might I add. We witness what is known as a social credit system, right? It may be forgotten to some of us because time is flying, but last November, around the time when your boy Ye was going crazy on the scene and getting canceled every left, right, and turn and whatnot, right? He was subjected to what is known as a social credit system. When they kicked him out of the bank, age of surveillance capitalism by Shoshana Zuboff from Israel. Go and get that book. Go and watch her YouTubes. She got YouTube lectures. She got TED Talks. She is on point. She is definitely an author that I recommend. I've been studying her for a few years now. Her information is on point. Okay. So when you saw the cancellation of Ye, that was the beginning of the social credit system. It's going to go further than that. Yes, I'm going to cover Eagle Eye, which was about a twin, right? Came out in 2008 around the Obama era. I'm going to cover that on Saturday as well. Like I said, it's a lot of shit that I want to cover, but as you see, I can't get caught up in that algorithm that YouTube is dealing with the copyrights and shit like that. There's a lot of movies and a lot of clips from movies that I'm going to be showing, so I could show how we've been programmed. And this could be part of what is known as predictive program. They could have been implanting certain things into our subconscious on some inception type shit, and we're bringing a lot of this to fruition. Who knows? Who knows? It's worth, you know, having that conversation and doing a little deep dive to see. Like I said, I'm going to give you both sides of the coin. I'm not just going to stay in one place. I'm going to give you both sides of the coin. Now, going back to China's social credit system, something that I pay attention to very, 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 very importantly. I stay paying attention to what China is doing, because as a superpower who, you know, is more in bed with the USA than they would like to admit, I know that they are leading in the race of AI. I know that they're leading in the race of technology. I know that when China spoke in front of world leaders, right, a few years ago, they blatantly said that we will take over the world, right? How do you get connected with the event on Saturday? Thank you for asking, Tyra. The link happens to be right in the description, right? And you could go to the name of the website that is scrolling at the bottom entitled KTL University that I'll put right there, right? And you'll be able to get your ticket, but the ticket is in the description. If I have any mods, you can drop a link in the chat room so they don't have to, you know, be troubled while they get this information. So China, they have a social credit system. I'm paying attention to China because I know that China is in a race with America and all of the other developed countries. Whatever China is doing, it's not the other way around. It's not like other countries, China's trying to copy other countries. No, China is leading in terms of what it is that they're doing with the technology, especially with the 5Gs, especially with the social credit system. Yes, they showed it on Black Mirror. You got a taste of it, especially with their artificial intelligence, right? They are leading it. They are a country who, after Mao's revolution and whatnot, Mao knocked off 60 million of them. He killed 60 million in order to get his fucking country back, right? Because they were all dope fiends. Okay, they had an opium epidemic, and he closed the motherfucking gates of China, and he committed genocide on his own people to straighten them up. Okay, so when they wanted to pop back out, right? What did they do? They embraced communism and capitalism together. And now, in order to be the number one superpower, they are in what is known as the quantum race. Okay. They are in what is known as the quantum race for quantum supremacy. So they are adamant and they are active about advancing their culture beyond the culture of the West. And they're ready to do anything in their power to do such. As you can see, America had to pull a stunt on them when they banned the quote unquote semiconductor chips right before the end of the year. That was an act of war when Biden pulled all of those scientists and whatnot out of China, and he basically stunted on them. Then America went up in Africa and started signing deals and whatnot for those raw materials in order for them to speed up in this quote unquote chip race, this quantum race. and all of these quote unquote, this quote unquote AI race, right? So this is going to be very interesting moving forward. Pay attention. But the fact that they have a social credit system, and this social credit system is keeping their society in order. This social credit system, if they're able to prove to America and to other countries, they're in Davos right now. They're at these summits, the G20 summits and stuff like that. They show the results of what it is that they're doing in their authoritarian society and whatnot. But if they can show the other rulers or the other leaders who would rather have authoritarian societies than fake democratic posing societies, they would rather have, they don't want dictatorships too much, but they will go with authoritarian. They will go with that. You know what I'm saying? So if China is able to show the results, like, look, we got our people on lock. We got them niggas under our thumb. They do whatever we say. Nobody is out of line. We got 6 million cameras. We could predict crimes and whatnot. We could catch up to all of the dissidents. We know how to silence people. All of these things that they're showing the world that they're able to do with this advanced technology by making this shit a weapon or a tool of the government. A lot of people are taking notes. A lot of people are taking notes. You understand? A lot of people are taking notes. You feel me? Yeah, they finna go to war over them chips. You think Joe Biden is gonna let you think Joe Biden is just gonna stand back and let and let this shit go down? You think that you're gonna let China go quantum on them? You think that these generals and stuff like that, this military complex is gonna just no, they're not gonna let that happen. They're not gonna let that happen. And yes, Africa is the target for all of these civilized or these industrialized countries and whatnot, because they all got to go to Africa to get the vibranium. You know what I mean? I know that got on the blue pill skin, but they all got to go to the Congo to get those raw material, them resources. You feel me? That's why China is throwing billions and billions and billions, right? And then America came in there and they basically they planted their flag. So that's a potential upcoming theater of war. That's going to be a potential theater of war moving forward. And yes, Elon is South African. Let's be clear. He's an African American. Elon is an African. What about cobalt mining? Yeah, that shit is inhumane. The amount of raw materials that have to be destroyed to make a fucking battery for an electronic car. I wanted a Tesla, but when I did the research about what it takes to make a Tesla, I'm like, it's not worth it. Give me a muscle car. It's not worth it, bro. I don't want to be a part of that. Like that. Now I'm gonna pop up with a Tesla. You niggas gonna hold me to it, but it's a lot of fucking destruction of natural resources. It's a lot of destruction of the earth in order to make these goddamn electronic vehicles, man. Dead ass. Jack Dorsey moved to Africa. I mean, they all up to something. It's a no-brainer to what they're off, to what they on. You feel me? It's a no-brainer. Let's go through the social credit system real quick. This is all about trust in the government. You can't talk greasy about the government. You can't write blogs about the government. You can't be a detractor, right? They reward or punish citizens in China. They have what I've been pushing to implement: a reward system, a penalty system, and a value system. That's what's in the social credit system. I'm gonna let you know that I'm a proponent of a social credit system. I agree to a social credit system. I feel that a social credit system is a way to keep nigga activity in line. I'm not opposed entirely to the social credit system. in my world, I would want my community, and I would want my quote unquote network to be the ones to implement our social credit system amongst us. I don't want to be underneath America, USA social credit system. I damn sure don't want to be underneath China's social credit system. But I would acquiesce if this conscious community, right? If they were to, if they were to even develop an identity like that, if they were to implement some type of social credit, I would be for that. I would be for that. That's called regulation. Niggas need some people need regulation. Some people need that sword, that scimitar over their head sometimes. Poor driving and debt will lower your social ranking, right? They could put a travel ban on you if your numbers is messed up like that. If you have the low numbers, you could get a travel ban. Like, nah, you can't fly on this plane. You got to take the Greyhound. You understand? A credit system monitors whether people pay their bills on time, much like financial credit trackers, but also ascribes a moral component. The best jobs in schools may be out of reach. 17 people refused to serve in the military in 2017, was barred from enrolling in higher education, applying for high school, or continuing their studies. In July 2018, a Chinese university declined to accept an incoming student whose father had a poor social credit score due to his inability to repay a loan. Another tactic is naming and shaming. Businesses are encouraged to consult the blacklist before hiring or contracting with people on it in a 2016 government notice. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, shit is rough out there. They forced to stay in line. And it's an authoritarian dictatorship. If you still aren't sure what ChatGPT is, all right, so this is just some information, more information on it. Okay. Like I said, I'll be going very much deeper into this on Saturday. Okay. I will be going deeper into this on Saturday. You dig? So I'm going to pause it right there. Like I said, we got a lot of information that we want to cover, and I will cover that as we move forward. On Saturday, I'll get to covering a lot of things, right? So there's a lot of pros and cons. There's a lot of pros and cons. These are all AI right here. These are influencers with millions of followers. Your children might follow some of these AI bots right here. They lit. They get endorsement deals, right? This is her on a Prada ad, right? But then you also have this right here. You also have the threat, the imminent threat of the Terminator. Sophia Stewart put it into writing many, many years ago, right? I often find myself aimlessly strolling through Instagram, and lately my feed feels increasingly homogenized, post after post. It sometimes feels like everyone is wearing the same skirt, doing the same pose, and writing the same generic captions. It's almost as if they were robots. Well, in fact, some of them are. Step forward, Makila, an artificial intelligence influencer with 1.3 million Instagram followers. She's just like any other fashion blogger with perfectly planned posts, a themed feed, and a penchant for sharing useful advice. But what makes her different? She's entirely fake. Ha! Thought bots. You know what I'm saying? They call that thought bots. Yeah. Stop buying from the enemy. The Borg. Yeah. So yeah, we're slowly coming upon the 2 hour mark. This was a good, some good time that we spent together. I just want to end it by saying that I hope you enjoyed this journey that we taken together, exploring the wonders and the possibilities of artificial intelligence and the impact that they will have on our lives. I share with you the latest research, trends, and practical steps to take you to harness the power of AI and make the most of this technology. Of course, I didn't show you hundreds and hundreds of ways that you could utilize that. And that is something that I will be doing for all of my KT aliens moving forward. I'm going to give you a lot of game. I'm going to give you a lot of plays, a lot of methods. I'm going to take you through the necessary steps because I know that it's not easy. There's a lot of people coming on as beginners and whatnot, but fret not. I know how to teach. You know what I mean? That's something that I could do. I could teach from an 8-year-old to an 80-year-old. So, I'm going to get it to you. But this is just the beginning. Believe me when I tell you this is just the beginning. I'm just scratching the surface. I invite you to take the next step and join me for the live event on Saturday, where we're going to dive deeper into the topic of AI intelligence. This event is an exclusive opportunity to learn from the experts in the field, network with like-minded individuals, and to gain a deeper understanding of how AI can change the way that we live, the way that we work, and the way that we think. During this event, you'll have the opportunity to attend workshops, listen to keynote speakers, and participate in the interactive panel discussion that we'll have at the end. You'll also have the chance to meet and connect with the other attendees. I'm going to open up the line. We're going to be able to chat it up. We're going to be able to chop it up. Brothers and sisters that are in the building that have motion, that's doing things. I want y'all to network and connect and let us know what's going on. If it's in alignment with some of the stuff that we're doing, then we'll definitely reach out to you and see how we can make some things happen, because this is about collaboration. Once again, it's so much new things going on. There's so much information. There's so much opportunity. I can't do it by myself. Even with the time that I have left on this planet, I couldn't cover everything on my own. This has to be a group effort. We gotta spread this out. Like I said, everything is not for everybody. If you teach people how to do the yoga, teach them how to breathe. You know what I mean? Teach them how to do this horoscope. If that's what you do, the organic thing, then do it. But let those who are grounded, right, in this reality that we're in. I'm not in denial. You feel me? I'm not a hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be like, oh, I'm scared of artificial intelligence, and then go lay down and have sex with a robot. I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not gonna let a fucking a robot please me, and then act like did a app that's able to answer questions, right? Now think about this, right? You would rather something that could stimulate you, you know what I'm saying? Fake stimulation, you know what I mean? A fake penis, before you're gonna go ahead and talk to a fake, because it's still not a human brain and whatnot. But I could get a lot more value dealing with Chat GPT and Midjourney and the art generators than I can playing with the roles, my nigga. Or playing around with the AI vacuum cleaner, or telling Alexa to play me Kodak Black. We gotta get our priorities in order. You know what I'm talking about? But like I said, this ain't for everybody, and this is not a for everybody conversation. This is for those with ears that can hear. This is for those that are ready to get busy. You know what I'm talking about? This is for those that are ready to put in some work, and you have that computational mind. You operate in an almighty intelligence, nigga.
To this day. To this day.
So make sure you get your tickets. KTLUniversity.com. Saturn Day, 8 p.m. Eastern. We are going to be broadcasting from Zoom. We won't be on StreamYard. We'll be on Zoom only. You feel me? 8 p.m. Eastern. And it will be recorded. Okay. So you can play it back. You could do your research, and you could study, and you might even be able to study. You could take some of the information and start teaching other people. You know what I'm talking about? Become an expert in your field. You know what I mean? But we all have to start somewhere, correct? We all got to start somewhere. So let us start properly. I will see y'all on Saturday. You feel me? I want to say thank you for everybody for pulling up, spending time. I appreciate y'all. We're going to end it with the Facts Initiative song. We're also going to end it with this video. Make sure y'all go over to that Patreon as well. You feel me? Sign up to the Patreon. Yeah, tap in with us. Like I said, the information, a lot of my information, there's a lot of information over there. You could just go in there, learn what you need to learn, educate yourself, update yourself. Like I said, don't think that this is this is a fucking 1%. This is not even, this is like a monologue. This is not the real deep stuff that we're going to be giving you. So, pay attention to that. And with that being said, I'll talk to y'all later. You dig? How long is the session? We're going to look at 4 to 5 hours. I'm going to look at 4 to 5 hours. You feel me? I like to talk. But yeah, with that being said, and yeah, check us out. Yeah, check us out. Check the Patreon out. You dig? Love and light.
Focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Found out the hacks, put it in the rap. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. We in your city, pull up where we at.
And that's facts though, I talk factos. That's J Babe, I go Astro. Floating focused on my cash flow. We plant star seeds to make the grass grow. I'm a real floater, I do what I wanna. Stacking the winter, sunbathing the summer. My chakras align and I shock them like Blanco. Only pope we acknowledge a nigga is Pablo.
At these events, I'm a god to my people. Got out the streets, yeah, we dodging a Rico. Game of roulette, I'm a casino. The game wasn't fair, yeah, the odds wasn't equal. Squad got the Chico, my squad got the Chico. Came in a drought, yeah, they starving the people. Blaming and doubt, make it harder to eat, yo. Not a placebo, that's not a placebo.
The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Found out the hacks, put it in the rap. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. We in your city, pull up where we at.
Started in Richmond, art in my district. Heart of the mystics, started for biscuits. Father to isfits, martyr to misfits. God is my witness, God on my hate list. Moving the weight, we started with fitness. Moving with State Street, art of the richest. Give me the blues, my heart is in Memphis. It's part of adventure, started my venture. The F is for food, the A is for art. The C is for clothes, I'm playing my part. T is for check, I'm playing it smart. S is for shelter, I stay in the park. Acres on acres, get lost in the dark. We playing a part, we playing it smart. Facts.
Okay, yeah. The food, the art, the clothes. We put this show on the road. The Vatican getting exposed. You better stay on your toes. Repo, tilling the land, focus on the ego. Open my heart, let go of the ego. Ran out the grand, I'm stacking up these C-notes. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back. Facts, facts. Found out the hacks, put it underneath the rap. Facts, facts. Fuck it, we gon' put this shit on our back.